Today on Sports Central, we'll be going over an NFL game preview on a huge NFC West matchup coming up in week number 7. And it's going to be between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. And these are two of the hottest teams currently in the NFL. And the NFC West in general is just a tough division. So it's obviously going to have big division implications moving forward. And so it's going to be a very important one for both these teams. And we're going to be going over a full game preview and prediction here on this game in this video, starting out with your team trends. And last week, Seattle beat Minnesota, or actually a couple of weeks ago, Seattle beat Minnesota 27-26. That was a great win there for Seattle. Obviously, it was a little bit close for comfort considering the Vikings are one of the weaker teams in the NFL right now, but still, I would say a win's a win. And then as far as it goes for the Cardinals, they beat the Cowboys big time last week, 38-10. Game was not even close. Dallas didn't even stand a chance from the start. And Arizona is obviously looking like a big surprise team, I would say, so far in the NFL this season. I mean, no one really expected that the Arizona Cardinals, of all teams, would be 4-2 heading into this matchup. I mean, the Cardinals are looking like a for-real team, and I think the Cardinals in general have got a chance to possibly make a playoff bid this season. It's just a matter of how far they can get, in my opinion. I mean, we've seen a lot of great games so far out of the Cardinals. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun matchup between both of these teams, especially considering, once again, how good both of these teams are. I mean, as for your winning streaks, the Seahawks have got a 5-game winning streak, obviously, since they're undefeated, 5-0 right now. And for the Cardinals, they're 4-2. They've got a 2-game winning streak. They've taken a couple of losses down the stretch against the Panthers and the Lions, but still, I mean, ever since then, they've played really well. They've had 2 blowout wins ever since those 2 losses that they did have in the middle parts of September into October. This game is going to be on Sunday, October 25th, 4:05 p.m. Eastern in Glendale, Arizona. So the Cardinals will be your home team in this matchup. Spread currently says Seahawks by 3.5, so it does have the Seattle Seahawks in a close one. ESPN FPI has got the Seahawks as well, 58%. Meanwhile, the Vegas prediction actually is going with Arizona here, 30-26. Kind of a rare occasion where the Vegas prediction is actually going against the spread and the FPI. So it's still 2-3 for the Seahawks, but the Arizona Cardinals are favored there in our Vegas prediction right now. And once again, as you guys all know, this is still being recorded pretty early on in the week, so we could see a possible change in the spread and in these predictions in general. But I mean, still, these are your look. This is your look as far as it goes pretty early on in the week. Once again, we got 2 out of 3 here predicting the Seahawks to get a win in, I would say, a pretty close matchup. Here's your stat comparison for this one as well. Seahawks currently have 33 points per game, 27 points allowed. They have 300 even pass yards a game. Of course, Russell Wilson is playing like better than he ever has before, to be honest with you. I mean, he's been playing extremely well lately. And if Russell Wilson can stay healthy and he can stay consistent at where he's at right now, I think we could easily see him as a Super Bowl MVP at the end of the season. It's definitely possible that we do. And as far as it goes for the rushing core, they don't have near as many yards there. They got 115 average rush yards a game right now. 376 pass yards allowed. Meanwhile, they got 100 rush yards allowed. So this pass defense for the Seattle Seahawks is looking like one of the worst in the league right now, with 376 average pass yards a game. Obviously, they've played a couple of good teams and a few good quarterbacks, but still, 376 pass yards allowed per game is something that you do have to be concerned about. That is a lot of yardage to be giving away to certain teams. And honestly, it's been kind of a lucky occurrence for the Seahawks to be able to get away with that because, once again, putting up 375 yards in the passing game is likely to get you a win in general. And considering the Seahawks have been averaging that on defense, that is not a very good sign. As far as it goes for the Cardinals, though, they've got 27 points per game, 18 points allowed, 247 pass yards a game, 161 rush yards, and then 248 pass yards allowed. Meanwhile, they've got 119 rush yards allowed. So looking at the Cardinals side, of course, they got 247 pass yards a game, which is also really good. It's not near as good as the Seahawks numbers there, but still, Kyler Murray's been having a heck of a season as well. He's been playing as good as he ever has, and that's for sure on that one as well. And if Kyler Murray, kind of in the same situation as Russell Wilson, if he can just stay consistent and stay healthy with this offense, I think we could see a big season coming up for the rest of the year out of Kyler Murray, and possibly a playoff occurrence as well for this Cardinals team, which is looking like the best that they have in a long time. I will say that much. Here are the previous 5 games for both these teams. Obviously, the Seahawks have beaten the Vikings, Dolphins, Cowboys, Patriots, and Falcons, all by pretty convincing scores. The Vikings game was pretty close. 27-26 was the final score there. But they did beat the Dolphins by 8. They beat the Cowboys by a touchdown, beat the Patriots by 5, and then beat the Falcons by a couple of touchdowns back in week 1. So the Seahawks have been looking, once again, really good so far. they've got a couple of good wins over the Cowboys and the Patriots. And don't forget about the Dolphins. I mean, Miami's actually been looking like a pretty good team so far this season. I think they're sitting at 3-3 right now. So, I mean, you could consider that to be a pretty good win against Miami on October 4th if you're a Seahawks fan right now. As far as it goes for Arizona, they did beat the Cowboys 38-10, so they beat them much more than Seattle did on September 27th. But then again, a lot has happened in a month for the Dallas Cowboys, especially with all the injuries that they've had. But then they also beat the Jets 30-10, big win there on October 11th as well. That was, however, after losing to the Panthers. They lost that game 21-31. They also lost to the Lions 23-26. So those were two losses that I definitely think the Cardinals want back at this point. And I definitely think they should have beaten both of those teams, knowing the talent that this team has. But still, it was a close matchup for both of those games. They did beat Washington 30-15 though in that week, in the second week of action. So, I mean, that's not a bad win there as well. Here's some key points for you. Seattle is likely the best team in the league right now. I mean, there's no doubt about that. You've got probably, I'd say, three teams that are main stand-up teams. You got the Chiefs, Ravens, and I'd say the Seahawks would be up there with them. I mean, you could also argue the Packers, but then again, the Packers looked terrible in Week 6. They got blown out to the Buccaneers, so I mean, that was pretty concerning for them. But I mean, the Seahawks are definitely looking like one of your top three teams, if not the best team in the league right now, sitting undefeated as well. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one for the Cardinals to win. I will say that much as well. But Arizona's definitely on the rise. This is the best season that they've had and one of the best starts that they've had in quite a long time. So watch out for the Cardinals moving forward. And this is a big NFC West matchup that is important for both teams. Obviously, the NFC West is extremely competitive this year. You've got four really good teams with the Seahawks. You got the Cardinals, Niners, and all around. Yeah, once again, just a really tough division. You've got such great teams in there right now. So, I mean, yeah, this is just an important matchup in trying to win and possibly win that division, because winning the division right now is the main priority for all four teams in that division right now. And it's definitely possible for all four teams. I mean, I think the Niners are in last right now in that division, and they've still got a good chance to possibly go out and win it, I think. I mean, they've got the talent there to be able to do that. But nonetheless, here's my prediction for this one. Halftime score is going to be 17-14. We're going to see Arizona lead. However, in the final, the Seahawks will get the win 20-27. It's going to be a close game, and I think we could easily see both teams win. Once again, that's usually how it is for NFL games, but we could easily see both teams win here. I mean, the Cardinals have got the talent and the potential to do so. I just think the Seahawks grind out and win in the end. I'm just more confident with Seattle's team right now, and Russell Wilson. I think he's definitely going to lead this team to a great win against the Cardinals. This will definitely be the best win of the season so far for the Seattle Seahawks against the Arizona Cardinals. But once again, I mean, I wouldn't rely on this prediction too much. I mean, don't place any bets on this one, because the Cardinals definitely have got a good chance to put up a big fight against Seattle here. And once again, it would not surprise me a single bit to see the Cardinals win this one. But do let me know your thoughts and comments below on this game. And then, yeah, of course, if you enjoyed this preview, slap a like on it. Subscribe as well. It really helps out the channel, and I'd really appreciate that. But then again, thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central, and I'll see you all later.